Hello, I'm Dave. Welcome to Home Cooking with Dave. Today we're going to make an real easy sauerkraut. Takes 2 ingredients, cabbage and salt. So when you pick up your cabbage at the grocery store, you're going to want to weigh it. Mine weighs about 2.2 pounds, which is perfect. Average cabbage, 1 kilo. And for every kilo you have of cabbage, you're going to want about 30 grams of salt. That's about 5 tablespoons. And you can weigh it precisely or just make a guesstimate like I did. Next step is to take a really sharp knife and you want to quarter it. Each cabbage has a pretty thick centerpiece and you're going to want to cut that out as well. As you see, here's the center stalk. The easiest way to get it out is to quarter it, and then once you quarter it, you take a sharp knife and you cut it at angles to get it out. Sometimes you can get this little spire out too. Once you have those cut out, you'll be left with something like this. Easiest way next is to take your cabbage, put it on the side, and slice it down this way. Thick pieces, skinny pieces, doesn't really matter. You can take your leftovers, use this for your animals, whatever you may need. You can also use a food processor with the slicing machine, but today we're doing old school and we are definitely going to use our sharp knife and cut it by hand. Alright, transfer all that to a big old bowl, and then you take your salt and you just generously sprinkle it all over your cabbage. It's recommended to let it sit after you toss it a little bit for about 5 to 10 minutes. Let it all sit there and pull the juices out. Okay, while that sits and gets a little bit prepared with the salt, I have gone and got my container ready. You can use mason jars, fermentation pots, whatever it may be, but I don't have either one that can fit, and so I'm making do. I have this glass container, I got a plastic seal, band around to keep the fruit flies out. That's the main goal. Now that that's been sitting, what you want to do is, sorry about that, is to basically work that salt in there. You're going to find out that a lot of moisture gets pulled out of here, and you just want to squeeze and work and kind of bruise the sauerkraut to make it release all that water, because that is what's going to help make the fermentation process go. You just want to really squeeze this for about 2 to 3 minutes until you start getting all that water, all the stuff coming out of it. After a few minutes of squeezing and getting, you'll get a lot of liquid in there. Now you want to transfer this into your fermentation station. So once you have it in your vessel that you're going to ferment in, it's always good to, you want to press down and kind of squish it even more and get the liquid above the line. So I had to make a change. My big vessel, I couldn't squish the cabbage down underneath the water line, so I switched over to mason jar. It all fit. No added liquid. That all came out of the cabbage. Now what you want to do is to cap it with a normal cap if you have it. If not, you can make a plastic rim, tie it around. Just make sure it has kind of a seal on it with the cabbage underneath the water. Keep off the flies. Make sure no mold gets on it. Next steps are to let it sit for up to a week to a month and let it ferment. While it's fermenting the first week, you're going to want to check it every day. Make sure you want to push it down. They do make weights online specifically for fermenting to make sure that all the food stays under the water level. I'm going to make some type of way to keep that down there, but you want to check it every day. And if you do seal it, make sure you burp it every day because it will cause pressure. After about the first week, you shouldn't have too much of a problem with the food coming up over the water, but you should at least check it every few days to make sure that there's nothing going bad with it. After about a week, you'll want to check it. I will post as I go and see where it ends up. Thank you for stopping, and we will follow up. Make sure you label it, you set it in here, and then let's just wait. Patience is a virtue.